Urban freight is extremely important for the social and economic viability of urban areas. It's been found that goods transport account for nearly 10 to 15% of total vehicle kilometers of travel, and they consume almost 30% of the total energy. In fact, it's a great challenge for the policy planners in developing countries to manage urban freight traffic. In India, it's been found that the intensity of urban freight traffic tends to increase with increase in city size. Delhi being no exception. Delhi is the capital city of India with 1500 square kilometer of area, 16.3 million population, and it's found that nearly 500,000 tons of traffic moves in and out every day into the city, carried by nearly 70,000 trucks. And if you see the walled city of Delhi, which is the commercial hub of Delhi, it's found that nearly 37,000 establishments handle nearly 27 different kinds of commodities, of which 7 to 8 are the major wholesale commodities which are traded virtually all over northern India. We have a different variety of distribution systems in the walled city and different ways of managing the logistics through what is called auctioning in the wholesale markets, to wholesale direct distribution, and through retail. If you see the Indian scenario of urban freight on roads of Delhi, you will find a very mix of traffic, right from mechanized to non-motorized transport. The goods traffic in the are right through trucks and the container, which because of the lack of space get parked on the peripheral roads or the boundary networks, and the transfer or handling facilities then is taken by non-motorized transport. The Indian wholesale markets are actually located in very crowded areas, and it's often very difficult for the urban freight modes to actually move in a very efficient manner. We've got very variety of modes, right, ranging from hand carts to bullock carts to push carts to cycle rickshaws, and it's a very heavily human resource dependent freight logistics which we often find in Indian cities. One of the main reasons being that you have a abundant supply of labor, and it gives you some kind of job opportunities to get engaged in the area of city logistics. The wholesale markets being very crowded, the freight has to coexist with the passenger movement, and often this really affects the efficiency of freight distribution to its last mile end. You have different varieties of freight being handled through non-mechanized transport, and ranging from cartons to bags to packets to medicines, and this all is being in its own manner of efficiency is being managed by various innovative methods through transfer of goods from retail to the godowns and vice versa. You often also find very innovative methods of actually loading the vehicles from the godowns through inclined innovative ways of transferring the commodities into the heavy vehicles, all very, very heavily human resource dependent logistic performances. Often it is also found that the goods handling areas where the handling takes place is often in the public spaces, and it's often very, very unorganized. And this all affects ultimately the efficiency of urban freight logistics in a developing country, and now probably one of the largest growing economy of the world, the Indian cities, and that to the capital city in India. The freight often is actually handled right from, even the personal cars are used for handling the freight movement, and then obviously the last mile is taken care by the headloads in all its dimensions, because that being probably the cheapest form of the last mile delivery to the final destinations in these markets. We also find that often the engagement of freight logistics between different kinds of vehicles is normally not done very efficiently, and which again affects the thing. Some of the very emerging issues are the concept of the logistics sprawl, which happens, Delhi being no example, the consequent freight movement and the transport-dependent greenhouse gas emissions, coupled with the noise and the safety issues are a very major serious concerns. Also, we find that retail stores are coming up on the suburbs because of the land economics and the paucity of retail stores in the main city, and this again adds to a lot of distribution cost. You also have the emerging trends of what we call the e-commerce and the growth of home deliveries, which again has its own logistical implications in terms of use of two-wheelers and use of auto rickshaws for delivering the freight to the users at their homes. And finally, the Indian cities are witnessing a lot of weak institutional setups, capacities and planning issues, which ultimately affect. But School of Planning and Architecture is one of the national institute of national importance in the country, declared by the Act of Parliament. We have the Department of Transport Planning, which offers a 2-year master's degree program. And one of the core programs of the department being the urban freight and logistics. And the graduates who graduate from the department are serving different capacities and dimensions all over the country and even outside. And we try to inculcate the latest principles of urban freight and city logistics into a teaching curriculum.